In this installment, we'll be breaking down your 6-game March 1st NBA slate we got going on for tomorrow. Let's get into it. Hey, yo! Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your March 1st NBA slate we got going on DraftKings. Guys, before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJSD. And if you are a viewer and not a current subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now. We are currently at 761 subscribers. The goal is 1K. 1K will be the cash giveaway, all right? Now, let's get into this slate. We're going to go position by position, giving you the value plays in this small, medium type of slate that they got going on for Tuesday. Let's start out on the point guard position, looking at some of the Brooklyn Nets value. Now, we have to understand that, yes, a lot of people are thinking that, this is a road game, so Kyrie's going to be back. But I think not. And currently, right now, I think they won't update it here on DraftKings. He is currently out. But Toronto has a vaccine mandate. If I'm not, if I'm misunderstood, I think they do. So it says it right here. Unvaccinated NBA players will no longer be allowed to travel to Toronto to play the Raptors after January 15th due to new Canadian travel restrictions. So, beginning January 15th, Canada will require all visitors to be fully vaccinated, all right? So, in this case, there will be no Kyrie in this game, all right? I just wanted to get that clear. He's going to miss this game. This is an away game, but it is in Toronto, and he is not allowed to play in Toronto as well. So that's another stipulation for the Brooklyn Nets. Currently, they're getting blown out. All right, pretty much straightforward like that, and that's my team. That is sad to see. 118 to 82 currently with 6 minutes left. You can look at those box scores, but I don't see it being an exact blowout the same way it's going on today. I think things might just change just a little bit. It might be closer because they're losing about like 40 points. That is very extreme. So looking at some of the value for the Brooklyn Nets, we are going to start off with Patty Mills, all right? Patty Mills at the point guard position for the Brooklyn Nets. He has been struggling as of late, but this is a perfect opportunity for him to turn around. He should not be this cheap getting starters minutes, 30 and above, okay? And under 5K, this can be somewhat slept on. I understand it is a smaller slate, but guys and players will be looking at other ways to get to value, but I don't think you should ignore the Brooklyn Nets in this situation, all right? Houston's on the board, I understand that, but the Brooklyn Nets have some guys that can put the ball in the bucket, and if their three-point shooting goes down and gets fluid, they got guys. They got Patty Mills. They got Seth Curry, all right? Guys like that can definitely set it off at a very valuable price. So I like Patty Mills at 4,600. I understand the past 2 games have been a struggle, but the minutes are there. Minutes equal money, and he quickly can turn it around, similar to what he did against Washington. 40 bomb right there, and some previous games against Denver and against Sacramento and against the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets, okay? It does not take much for Patty Mills to get hot, and this is definitely an environment in a small slate you can take advantage of, all right? So I like Patty Mills. Next guy we are going to look at will be higher price at the point guard position. Patty Mills more shooting guard and small forward, but at the point guard position, Reggie Jackson is in a prime spot going up against the Houston Rockets. Okay, they faced this team quite frequently in the past 2 weeks. On the 17th, he had 40 fantasy points, and then on the 27th, again facing Houston, and had 44 fantasy points, doing well above his fantasy points per game average at 8,200. It is worth the price, and if he's going to do another 40 bomb, I'm going to be all in. With the Clippers on the road, Houston has the home advantage. This should be a close game. I don't expect them to blow them out like they did on the 17th when Houston was on the road. This should be somewhat a little bit closer. So we will see about that. But I do like his current price at 8,200. All right. Love Reggie Jackson. Next, who we're going to look at is we're going back to the value of the Brooklyn Nets, and that will be Seth Curry, 6,400. He's come over and really established himself, continue to knock down the three, and we're looking for a little more help in that assist game, similar to what he did against the Knicks and Washington, 6 and 4 assists in those two games. If he can chip in with the rebounds as well at 6,400, this is an absolute steal. Um, they put a lackluster effort down today, so I expect the Brooklyn Nets to put a valiant effort in this home and home situation. That's what tends to happen, all right? It kind of is flip flop from game to game with these home and home situations. So I expect a better effort from the Brooklyn Nets. I like Seth Curry at 6,400. Now let's look at another shooting guard. I'm giving you a lot of value here. At least for the guards and the forwards, I'm giving you two plays that are really piqued my interest. And the next guy we're going to look at will be Spencer Dinwiddie. All right. Now he's getting back to his bread and butter. With Washington, he was a starter, wasn't really clicking, struggled. Now he's back to coming off the bench, similar to what he did with the Brooklyn Nets but before he reached his peak and really set sail to free agency. And that's why he went to Washington, because he was such a good six man. And now you're seeing him blossom again in the past two games, 26 minutes against Utah, 20 real points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And then against the Golden State Warriors, a big comeback performance, 31 minutes, 10 of 14 shooting, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, 24 real points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. Spencer Dinwiddie has been outstanding, and I think he's getting back to his old self. I think we cannot fade him at this current price of 5,600. All right. Now let's move over to small forward, and I still have another gem from the Brooklyn Nets that we can go to, and that will be Bruce Brown. Now, with Bruce Brown, he's the key to the defense, getting a ton of minutes at the small forward position. Now he's starting to develop a 3-point shot. As you saw against Milwaukee, 3 for 5. In some previous games, he's at least knocking down at least 1 3. I think he's developed in that because we just know him as a defender and more slasher type of a basketball player. Now he can knock down a 3 ball just occasionally. So that helps to his game. 5 of 10 shooting against Milwaukee, 5 of 12 against Boston. High effort, high intensity. So you're going to be expecting blocks, steals from him just because of how active he is on the defensive side of the ball. Rebounds comes with his game as well. And if he can provide 10 plus points, that is icing on the cake at 5,400 at this current price. This is a great buy on Bruce Brown for the Brooklyn Nets, okay? Next, who we're going to look at will be another small forward, and that's Andrew Wiggins, okay? We have gotten news that Klay Thompson will miss another game, okay? He's going to miss this Tuesday game going up against Minnesota. Andrew Wiggins, his former team, you could do a little revenge narrative. He has done very well playing against his former team, 35 fantasy points per game in the 3 games against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's above his fantasy points per game average. Okay, that is good to see. So I'm expecting a nice 1-2 punch between Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins here, going against the young Minnesota Timberwolves, who's going to put up a good fight. All right, and this should be a very high scoring game between the Warriors and the Timberwolves. I like Andrew Wiggins facing his former team at 6,200. No Klay Thompson, so he becomes the Robin to Steph Curry's Batman. All right. Next, we're going to move over to the power forward position, and I got some gems here for you. Starting off with the Detroit Pistons, Jeremy Grant going up against Washington. Washington is in a fluster, okay? Big problems over there in Washington. The trade deadline, obviously, you saw that. But the benefit to this matchup is Jeremy Grant going against Kyle Kuzma, who does not play any defense. This is one of the stars of the Detroit Pistons between him and Cade Cunningham. These two guys are really They really have been doing well putting the ball in the basket. Um, the previous game against Charlotte Hornets, 11-19 shooting, 4 of 10 from the 3-point line. That was very shocking to see. Jeremy Grant is really shooting a high number of threes, and that's going to help as well going against the Washington Wizards, which should be a very back and forth type game. So we're putting in these type of numbers up, 19, maybe even 20 shot attempts. Jeremy Grant has a very high ceiling at 6,300. He had plenty of games last season where he had a 40 bomb. So he really stepped up and is now become a focal point in this Detroit Pistons offense. So I like him at 6,300. Let me find you some value at the power forward position. Let's go over to the struggling LA Lakers, and Carmelo Anthony has been providing punch off the bench between him and Malik Monk. Those two shooting guards right there. Well, now Carmelo Anthony's a power forward. So power forward here in Carmelo Anthony at 4,800 has been putting in solid minutes. And if this is a blowout, he's going to be getting that time on the court in garbage time, just chucking up threes. And I'll take all of it, okay? I will take all of it in the last past two games, 28 minutes and 30 minutes, putting up 23 fantasy points and 33 fantasy points. If we go back just a little bit further against Portland, 33 minutes, 43 fantasy points. He was red hot, 24 and 8, chipped in with 2 assists and 2 blocks. That's what I like to see from Carmelo Anthony. And at this price at 4,000, if he does another 40 bomb, that is near 10x. Okay, so Carmelo Anthony at 4,800 is definitely someone we can look for. Let me throw him in here. Let's clear out some of these other guys so we can fit in the rest of the value that we have on the board. All right. So we got Carmelo Anthony in there. Let's move over to the center position. And it's not many options in this category. Obviously, you got Karl Anthony Towns, great spot. Pascal Siakam, good spot right there. But I'm looking for a very competitive game, and that should be the Celtics against the Atlanta Hawks. Celtics coming back home finally. They've been on a little bit of a road trip. Atlanta's been red hot at home. Now coming to Boston Garden Arena. Now, this is a perfect spot for the defensive-minded Robert Williams to excel at, to get a possible double-double. He chips in with the blocks at a high clip. 4 blocks against Indianapolis, 2 blocks against Atlanta, 3 blocks against Denver. So we already seen the type of performance he can put up. Double-double against Atlanta on the 13th with 2 blocks and assists. 32 fantasy points right there. I think he can do just a little bit more in this game. Hopefully a 40 bomb. That's what I'm looking towards. But he's very high intensity, athletic center. That should, this game, if this goes to the 115s, 120s, all right, definitely has some big upside, okay? Robert Williams, Jason Tatum. These are all the guys you need to be looking at, all right, in this game environment between the Celtics and the Hawks, especially on the other side as well. Bogdanovich is at a very nice price as well. That's another sleeper person that you're going to look at that shooting guard, small forward position, all right? But I like Robert Williams as a center. Let's look at one of my favorite value plays of Tuesday, and that will be Daniel Gafford for the Washington Wizards. He has been starting center for the past 2 games after the All-Star break, and he's putting up very good performances. I don't think anyone really noticed, but at 3,600, this can be one of your anchors in your lineups at 3,600. Daniel Gafford has been putting up great performances. 29 minutes against the Spurs, 17 points, 3 assists, and 6 rebounds. Also, next in that game against Cleveland, tougher opponent. He has to deal with the Twin Towers. Had 14 points, 7 assists, and 1 steal. Got you 24 fantasy points at under 4K. Yes. Give me the starter of Daniel Gafford. They're not really playing Tomas Bryant. They still have Rui Hachimura, but those guys are questionable. They trust the activity of Daniel Gafford, and I like him. He does provide blocks upside as well. He's averaging 1.5 per game, all right? And now let's get to our lock of Tuesday, the lock of the slate, and that will be our boy Stephen Curry. All right, Steph Curry right here at 10,800 will be the lock. with no Klay Thompson. He will entirely take over the offense. 11 to 25 shooting against Dallas, 27 points, 10 assists. Nice double double right there with 4 rebounds. I expect another double double performance from this, and in this one, a win, okay, for the Golden State Warriors. So I like Stephen Curry to show out and show the young bucks of the Timberwolves what a real 3-point shooter is, and I think he takes it to another level. Hopefully 30, maybe even 40 points. We'll see. But I definitely think Stephen Curry is the lock of the night. All right. All right. That is going to be our plays for Tuesday. Okay. I gave you value at each and every position. Some of the guys, just remember this, go over it one more time. We're looking at Patty Mills, Reggie Jackson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Seth Curry, Bruce Brown, Andrew Wiggins, Carmelo Anthony, Jeremy Grant, Robert Williams, Daniel Gafford, and our lock of the night will be Stephen Curry. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know in that comment section down below if you have any other ideas at point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, or center, even value. Maybe you have a different lock. Let me know down below, and we'll definitely discuss about that. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out, guys.